The Black Panther, Vietnam, and more Vietnam are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is November 11th, 2022. It is the 315th day of the year. There are 50 days left in 2022. It's the 45th Friday in the 45th week and the 51st day of fall. There are 40 days left until winter. If today's your birthday, your birthstone is still a topaz. Today is Veterans Day. Veterans Day on November 11th honors the military veterans who have served in the United States Armed Forces. The federal holiday coincides with Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, which marks the end of World War I. The observance reflects the end of significant hostilities on the 11th hour of the 11th day in the 11th month of 1918, when the armistice with Germany took effect. Initially, the United States observed Armistice Day as well. However, it evolved into Veterans Day in 1954. Veterans Day is not to be confused with Memorial Day or Armed Forces Day. Veterans Day celebrates all United States military veterans. However, Memorial Day is set aside for remembering the men and women who have died while serving the United States. Additionally, Armed Forces Day recognizes the men and the women currently serving in the United States military. As it was explained to me in the Army, you got past, present, and dead. I know it's a hard way of looking at it, but that's what they used to say. All right, let's see what else November 11th has given us. 1620, the Mayflower Compact is signed in what is now Provincetown Harbor near Cape Cod. 1778, Cherry Valley Massacre. Loyalist and Seneca Indian forces attack forts and villages in eastern New York during the American Revolutionary War, killing more than 40 civilians and soldiers. 1921, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is dedicated by U.S. President Warren G. Harding at Arlington National Cemetery. If you don't know, you can go see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. Some people call it the Tomb of the Unknowns. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is a historic monument dedicated to deceased U.S. service members whose remains have not been identified. It is located in Arlington National Cemetery, which is right across from Washington, D.C. in Virginia. Now, the soldier that is in the tomb, the unknown, is a recipient of the Medal of Honor, the Victoria Cross, and several other foreign nations' highest service award. If you ever do go see this, it is a very impressive thing to see. I mean, besides the fact that it has an unknown soldier buried there, they have guards. They have guards that are there 24 hours a day, rain, shine, snow, blizzard, whatever. There's always a soldier guarding this tomb. I had a sergeant when I was at Fort Ord. Sergeant Marina was his name, and he was a member of this for a few years. The detachment is the 3rd Infantry Regiment, Old Guard. And these guys, it's called drill and ceremony. When you see people marching and stuff like that in line and doing all their ceremonial stuff, it's called drill and ceremony. These are the highest class of those people. They train this more than anything else. On the other hand, when I was at Fort Ord, we were just field soldiers. They didn't even do that stuff with us hardly. We're like barbarians in the mist. But if you ever go see this, there's a guard that marches back and forth. He takes 21 steps to the south on this 63-foot long black mat. He turns, faces east towards the tomb for 21 seconds. Exactly 21 seconds. Turns and faces north, changes weapons to the outside shoulder, and waits 21 more seconds. Then marches 21 steps down the mat, turns, faces east for 21 seconds, turns and faces south, changes weapons to the outside shoulder, and waits 21 more seconds, and repeats the routine until the soldier is relieved of duty by the changing of the guard. It's quite the to-do, and if you're ever in Washington, D.C., I would recommend going to see this. 1926, the United States numbered highway system is established. 1940, World War II. In the Battle of Taranto, the Royal Navy launches the first all-aircraft, ship-to-ship naval attack in history. Never happened before that. 1967, the Vietnam War. In a propaganda ceremony in Cambodia, 3 American prisoners of war are released by the Viet Cong and turned over to the New Left anti-war activist Tom Hayden. 1968, the Vietnam War. Operation Commando Hunt is initiated. The goal is to disrupt the supplies and personnel on the Ho Chi Minh Trail through Laos and South Vietnam. 1972, Vietnam War, the victimization. The United States Army turns over the massive Long Binh military base to South Vietnam. 2004, the PLO, or Palestinian Liberation Organization, confirms the death of Yasser Arafat from unidentified causes. Movies released on November 11th. Today, The Black Panther. It's Black Panther 2. It's called Wakanda Forever. This is a direct sequel to the 2018 Marvel Cinematic Universe film, The Black Panther. This, in my opinion, the first one, was one of the best Marvel movies that had come out. There's a few that I really liked. This was one of the best. Sadly, Chadwick Boseman, who starred as the title character in the first Black Panther film, tragically passed away in 2020. Yeah, sadly, he was diagnosed in 2016 with stage 2 cancer, and it had progressed to stage 4 by 2020. He was only 43 years old when he died. I'm interested to see how they work his death out in the new movie. It should be pretty good. I'm sure it'll be an emotional movie, especially if you liked the first one. I'll tell you how it was after I see it. Born on November 11th, 1960, Stanley Tucci, longtime actor known for his work in such movies as The Big Night, The Devil Wears Prada, The Terminal, Percy Jackson, Transformer movies, The Hunger Games, and the 2017 Beauty and the Beast. He's been in everything. He's a really good actor. I like him. He began his career on Broadway in The Queen and the Rebels. In 1985, he made it to the big screen in Prissy's Honor. He was in ER, remember the hospital show from 2007-2008. Great actor. Died on November 11th, 1938. Typhoid Mary, Irish-born cook who had asymptomatic typhoid fever and managed to infect 49 people during her culinary career. She died in isolation after spending nearly 3 decades in a government-mandated quarantine. Yeah, New York State sent her out to an island and she lived there the rest of her life. Part of the problem was she was told not to go back into the culinary thing, being a cook or whatever, and she kept doing it. And eventually they just said, that's enough. Yeah, she spent her final days on North Brother Island, which is in the East River. It's right off Hunts Point by Rikers Island in New York City. Typhoid Mary's real name was Mary Mallon. She died on this day in 1938 of pneumonia at the age of 69. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.